Hi, greetings. I always have to take a deep breath before I start these things, especially because it's been a minute since I've recorded. Hello. I've missed you all. I've missed this. Let me just start by saying, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Andrea. I am an obsessive knitter, at least usually. And I'm living in Los Angeles, where it has been very, very hot, but today seems a little more mellow. It's kind of gray out there. Anyway, it's been, I want to say like maybe, it's definitely been more than a month, but whatever, that's summer. We're so, we have a full house, everybody's home, and the kids are big now, so it's like, but it's wonderful to all be home. And we've been taking beach days and trying to enjoy the summer as much as we can. We went up to the mountains at the end of June, which was beautiful. So we've done some in and out kind of trips, and we're actually gearing up to go to my father's house up in northern Washington, almost to the border. So that's always a very special time. For those of you that are new here, my father passed away about 1.5 years ago, and it was devastating. And last summer we went up to the house with my stepmom and felt so connected to him there, which was amazing. And so I'm really looking forward to that again this summer. We're all going, and yeah, I just still miss him so much, and I'm excited to like feel him all around me. So yeah. The other cool thing about being in Washington, or northern Washington, is that I am attending Flock Fiber Festival. So Flock, I believe, is in their 2nd year. I did not go their inaugural year last summer, but it sounded so fun. And since I knew I was traveling to Washington, I was like, let's just tack on a couple more days. So I will be at Flock. I'm attending on Saturday. I think that's gonna be it because I've got my whole family. And so, you know, yeah. But I'm so excited, and I'm, as I'll talk about later, I'm really like trying, the wheels are spinning in my brain for what am I looking for? Because I want to have some boundaries or some ideas when I go, instead of just like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But that might happen anyway, so whatever. Okay, knitting. I am wearing my Kutar top. This is a gorgeous pattern by Sari Nordlund, and I knit mine in Moondrake Merino linen, which is also one of the most comfortable to skin yarns I've used to date. It is like 90% wool to 10% linen, so it's not a huge difference, but it does make a difference. It's a really light fabric, and I think it shows the lace pattern really beautifully. The neckline I'm obsessed with, because this is just exactly what I wanted. I like personally wearing things kind of higher, closer to my collarbones, and I just think that is a much more flattering shape for my arms, rather than like cutting me at certain places. So anyway, I absolutely love it, even though I royally effed it up. So I don't know if you guys are like this, but this is like, I think something I really need to work on. But I was knitting away. It's so delicious and gorgeous. And I'm knitting and I'm knitting and it's top down, right? And the front and the back are knitted separately. So once I was able to connect them, I was so excited. I'm doing all the stockinette. And then I decided, whoops, I have to measure because the pattern I think allots for 8 inches for the armhole depth. So that is being measured, I think, from here, the top, to here. So I measured and it was like 9 and some change. So, but I was like, well, I don't mind a low, I don't mind kind of a lower shoulder or arm circumference thingy and tanks. I was like, I don't think it's gonna bother me. I'm not large busted, so it shouldn't really matter. And then I just kept knitting and I didn't try it on again until I was working on the straps. And I could definitely tell that, well, I finished it. Like I bound off and I totally finished it. And then I was really like, oh no. It was so low and so gaping. And also the body width was somehow really way too big, like almost 2 inches too big, which is kind of weird because the top fits beautifully. And unfortunately, because I had already bound off and done the double knitted hem, I just was like, it'll be fine. I'll just do this, the straps, which I did, and I was trying it on at that point to get the straps and the neckline exactly how I wanted it. And that was actually no problem. That's just like some beautiful I-cord. But, you know, I just was like, you know what, it's fine. I'm not a perfectionist, which is true. I'm not. I'm kind of I'm a messy artist. I'm sort of a messy cook, chef, home cook, whatever. I'm not precise, but I really regret the choices that I made because I was really struggling with how in the world to get it to fit me properly so I could wear it on its own. And I don't even want to show it because I'm a little like, but I did wind up trying to seam the inside to bring it together, which I did. So it is kind of seamed on the inside. Then I got a little worried that that wasn't gonna hold. So I put it on a sewing machine and I did the like zigzag. I'm a new sewer, so please don't judge my novice vocabulary. Anyway, it just pretty much looks awful on the sides. So when I wear it, I just need to stand with my arms to my sides. Honestly, I don't think it's such a big deal, but I was thinking about taking it to a tailor because it's gorgeous and I love it so much, and I would wear I've been wearing it like, you know, around my house. Yeah, so I don't know. I learned a lot in making this beautiful top, and you know, I'd love to make another one of her camisoles because I think the shape is so beautiful and flattering, and it's easy to wear, especially in this climate. So I do recommend the pattern. I just learned for myself that I think I shouldn't let, you know, I shouldn't let like an inch go, you know, I shouldn't make it okay to kind of be measuring, not within the measurements that the pattern recommends. So that was that for my Couture tee. The yarn is incredible, and yeah, it's gorgeous. So I also finished a top that took really no time at all to make, but really sadly, unfortunately, does not fit. So this is the Sabai top, and this is by Paulastrickt, the designer Paulastrickt. I did mine with the unfinished neckline. I just wanted a very casual tank, and that is what it is. And I really loved the construction and how this top is knit. It's really awesome. So generally speaking, if I see a top like this, I would think, oh, it's 2 halves, you know, bound off, Kitchener stitched at the top. No, this is actually knit top down, and it's really clever how, you know, it's just, you're just increasing, kind of like, you know, for shoulders basically, except it's not a bunch of stitches, it's just sort of maybe 1 or 2 stitches, but it makes a really nice clean seam. It's a beautiful top, but again, my size is like cuckoo too big. So in both patterns, I knit the size 3, which honestly, I felt like was appropriate. And I was on gauge, like 100% on gauge for this one. I knit this one in Isager Trio 2, and I held 2 strands while knitting the entire thing to get a DK weight fabric. And I did get that, and I was completely on gauge with the, I believe it's like a size 6 needle or a size 5 needle. I don't know what happened, but it is huge, and it doesn't fit, and it doesn't look good. It's really heavy fabric. Like I like the fabric in some ways because it is cool to the touch. It feels good against my skin, but it's just like massive. And I'm bummed because you know what, the neckline on this, if you haven't seen this pattern already, I still recommend it because I think I want to knit another one in a smaller size, because I think it would be an amazing, like, just wardrobe staple. The neckline, and I may actually do the finished neckline next time, although I do love the casual unfinished neckline, maybe in a smaller size. So it has a beautiful finish. The place that the end of the sleeve fits or hits is really like right on that shoulder bone. And I personally think that is a really beautiful place to end. It shows still your shape of your shoulders, your arm, the boat neck plus that. It's a beautiful design. And I can't really explain what happened. I don't really know what happened. I don't think it grew that much in blocking. This is a pretty taut fabric. And if it were to grow, maybe just through wear and length, gravity. So I would like to make this one again. Definitely I'm gonna size down. I think even 2 sizes, because yeah, just didn't work out. So that was partially why I was kind of like, oh, uninspired, you know? I was like, wow, I've made 2 complete, like, can I say fuck on here? 2 complete fuck ups. I was just feeling really like, God, what is wrong with me? Oh, and so I just was like, not feeling super motivated. I think the other thing too that I was feeling was there was just so much that I wanted to accomplish this summer. Not just knitting, but also spinning, a la Tour de Fleece, which was the month of July, or 2 weeks in July. And I have recently learned how to sew. And so I've just kind of been a little overwhelmed in my brain of like, I want to do this, but I want to do this, and I want to do this. And I do not have a dedicated space for myself, which means that my stuff is everywhere, literally everywhere. I mean, it's the worst in our bedroom, but you know, there's fiber, there's a spinning wheel, there's there's just like yarn everywhere. And I don't know how people do it. I don't know. Maybe they have a sewing room or they have more dedicated spaces. I just don't. And I think in the summer particularly, it's difficult for me to figure it out. But also just wanting and feeling pulled in lots of different directions made me feel just like, oh, stuck, like frozen. So yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It's never really happened to me before. So that's also was kind of weird. But I did notice, because I was watching a few of knitting podcasts, because I wasn't even inspired to watch a knitting podcast, which is, okay, that is like always my happy place usually. And I noticed a lot of other knitters, crafters, sort of talking about the same thing. And I'm not sure if that had to do with sort of the cultural climate at the time. I don't really want to go there in this, but you know, it's rough. There's a lot going on. That's all I can say. But moving on from that, I did accomplish one spinning thing, which did take place during Tour de Fleece. I think I spun for like the first 3 days, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. But I did finish this beautiful yarn. And this was a fractal spin. There were several different yarns that I used in the spin. Some were from Hello Yarn, some were from Sweet Georgia, and I definitely have the names somewhere, and I will link everything below, which, by the way, I always do link everything below. So if you're interested in a pattern or, you know, any of the details, that's where I aspire to put everything in. However, if I miss something, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know, because I will rectify that. But I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I mean, it's a little bulbous, and I think that had to do more with, I was using 2 different kinds of spinners. So I was kind of plying on an e-spinner that then kind of broke. Yeah, so it went through a few things before it became yarn, but I think it's really gorgeous, and this is a beast. I haven't even weighed it yet, but it is massive, and I think this could be beautiful in a shawl. So that was my spinning for the last couple months. And then I thought I'd just share what I have been actively working on the last month or so. And I have a little conundrum at the end, which I'll share. Oh wait, I have one more finished object. I totally forgot. So those of you who've been around for a while know that I have been working on a shawl for my mother, who is just beyond knitworthy. And I started knitting the Mowry shawl by Natasha Hornsby of Moonstruck Knits. And it is a absolutely stunning pattern. And I have shared in the past that I really feel as if I used the wrong yarn. It's a slip stitch mosaic colorwork pattern, and I'll try and hold it up so you can sort of see the pattern, although it is really see-through, so that's better. It's a crescent, or I decided to skip one of the flower repeats because it was already massive, and my mom is, you know, kind of a slight human being. So I still think it is gorgeous, and I think it is perfectly my mom, okay? Because my mom doesn't like the woolly wools, which is what I think this pattern really, which, you know, shines in, is the woollier wool. So you can really appreciate the color work. This was made with Posh yarns, and both of these are cashmere silk blends. They are dreamy. Like, you could actually wrap this around you when you got out of the shower. Like, it is so soft. It could touch every part of your body and you would not even itch. It would not itch you. Also, it's perfect for my mom. You know, they're very elegant colors. Let me try and scoosh you up. This is just so to show you. There's a lot of variation in the kind of grayish yarn. It's got some burgundy. It's a little hard to show here. And then this is sort of a gorgeous, like, camel, silky, both extremely luxurious. These are yarns that were gifted to me by my aunt, or shall I say inherited. It's pretty gorgeous, I think. So I'm excited to give this to her. I mean, it's not a surprise. It actually took me like 2 years to make this shawl, which is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, her birthday's coming up, so I'm excited to gift it to her. So that is the Mowry shawl. Okay, so now in terms of what I'm working on, I would say I'm gonna work in terms of like most to least. So the thing I'm really working on the most, which is really fun, is the Soho square, designed by Jackie Rose. And it's basically like a giant square wrap. These are the stripes, the kind of peachy color and lemon lime color. And then this darker color, which is called Peachstone, is the main color. And I'm almost ready, oh, that's the back. I'm almost ready to switch back to it. So yeah, I think it goes like this actually. I don't know. Anyway, I posted on my stories and on Instagram my inspiration, this designer that makes these most ethereal, just amazing color combinations. There'll be like a nude peach or brown, or with you know, some kind of very gentle neon or pistachio or yellow kind of chiffon overlay. And they're simple dresses, but they are absolutely so stunning. Out of my price range, but I was very inspired by that. And so the colors I just absolutely love together. So this is my first main color, Peachstone. The second one is called Honey Pink, I believe. And then this third one is Lemon Lime. These are all Purl Soho linen quill colors. And then my second main color is this one. This is the Pale Mushroom, also in the linen quill. And so that is going to be, actually, there's more of this to come, but this is going to be the other half, and the stripes will go another direction. So I will say it was a slow go in the beginning, but once you get to the stripes, it actually goes so fast. So I'm really enjoying it. The colors are fun. I'm not really a stripe person, but I imagine it all like wrapped up together, and I think it's gonna look really gorgeous. So that is the Soho Square by Jackie Rose. I'm using the yarn that is in the sample, I believe, which is the linen quill from Purl Soho. The next thing that I'm devoting my time to is my Trinigan sweater, which is also kind of a slog. Wow, I sound really motivated and excited, but it is a slog because it's 18 inches of this. Ugh. But I'm pretty excited to have the finished object. And in my mind, to get myself a little more like psyched, I'm telling myself this is a Rhinebeck sweater. This is my Rhinebeck sweater. So yeah, I want to have this done to wear at Rhinebeck. So this is Trinigan by Andrea Mowry. I can't remember when she came out with this design, but let me show you the photograph that she has on the pattern. And it's done with spin cycle and a beautiful main color. And maybe that is the trick to 18 inches of fabric, because, you know, the color change, I'm sure helps, you know, keep you motivated. But I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to use these yarns that I am absolutely obsessed with. This is a Farmer's Daughter Fiber, kind of very special yarn that came in one of the Indigenous collective years. And the colorway is Old Man Coyote. And if you've been here for a while, you know that like I am kind of totally obsessed with this color. But this wool is also insane. 50% local US alpaca, 50% organic merino, worsted weight. I'm not sure this is a yarn on repeat, but it is amazing. It's very sheepy, but it's soft. Like with all that alpaca content, it is so squishy. It's really, really nice. And then the main color is Jacob's Wool, West Yorkshire Spinners, Jacob's DK, which is actually really thick. So I'm using it as a worsted here. It's a beautiful natural color, and it's called medium gray. So This is Jacob's DK. It's so beautiful. And then I just really wanted the two to be together. Yeah. And it's a mosaic pattern, very rhythmic, if you're in the mood. Which, yeah. But I am pretty inspired to get going on this, and I think it's gonna look really good, and I cannot wait to have this as like a cardigan jacket. I can't wait. And I know it's gonna be amazing. Like, these are my colors. I do love the pattern. I think it looks amazing, and I will get a lot of wear out of this because I have a lot of clothes that meet these colors very beautifully. So that is my Trinigan. Another thing that I'm working on is kind of a departure, but I'm knitting for a baby, a 1-year-old baby, a baby that just turned 1. What's weird about this is it's not even really a close friend. But I felt really like I needed something quick and just a win. And truthfully, I have really enjoyed making this. So the pattern is called the Melange sweater in the baby size. And I'm knitting I think the 18-month size. It's a very simple construction. I actually love the way the shoulders are constructed. It's virtually seamless, and you are picking up stitches, but they have an amazing video on the PetiteKnit website that it's all about like picking up with no seam, no visible seam, and it's incredible. It also helps that this is a marled yarn, and I also am enjoying it because honestly, there are directions or suggestions on how to marl the yarn. So I'm using this absolutely gorgeous farm yarn from xoxo, and I believe they're from Montana or Wyoming. xoxo. This is 100% Cormo, grown in Montana, and it's a fingering, but also kind of a sport. But this is their tag. Ooh. It's such a beautiful yarn, and I've had this for a few years now, and I just never really knew what to use it for, and I was then like, oh my god, this is the perfect yarn for a baby sweater. It's warm, but it's really light, and I'm pairing it with this seriously gorgeous yarn that I've also had for years from Purl Soho. Let me see, I'll show you the yarn first. It's like a deep kind of teal blue. I bought this for something at some like years ago, but I didn't make it. So the colorway is High Tide, and it's Purl Soho line weight, 100% merino wool. It's incredibly soft and so rich. So these are the two colors that I'm marling together. And at the pattern suggestion, the instructions for marling are not just to hold the two yarns together and start going, but to actually twist as you're knitting. And so, yeah, I'm totally doing that, and I absolutely love how it looks. I think it gives it a little bit more movement as opposed to possible striping, which is mentioned in the pattern, like to avoid striping. Anyway, it's a lovely pattern, and the fabric is so nice. It's so light, And then obviously I will be picking up for the neckline and the sleeves. And I think I'm gonna take this on my trip. I think this might be a nice travel knit because it's pretty compact. So I am enjoying that. I know the melange, oh, here's a photo. It's ridiculously cute. Let me see if I can. Look at that. Oh my God. It's been a while since I've made baby stuff. So it's kind of sweet to do that. Yeah, there is I think a melange sweater for adults too. All of this yarn is from my stash, which also has been a priority for me because I really need to knit down my stash. So I'm pleased. I did have to order the 2 contrast striping colors, but everything else I had. And yeah, same with this. So yeah, I'm really making an effort to do that this summer. Also because I'm about to go to Flock and I just want to feel like, you know, unencumbered to shop without feeling like, oh, but I have so much, which is still the case, but however, yeah, whatever. Okay, what else? Okay, so I want to talk about one more thing in terms of whips, which is just a new, actually it's really not new. So this has happened to me a couple of times with Rhinebeck sweater patterns that are introduced each year by Andrea Mowry. There is a lot of hype, there is so much excitement. When the sweater is released, I'm like, oh, that's not really me. And that's happened to me a few times. But I am going to Rhinebeck again this fall. I hope you all are thinking of doing that too, and I'd love to know. And I got kind of caught up, and a lot of people I follow on social media have either knitted in the testing period or are just like charging full speed ahead. I think they started a knit along for the sweater. Honestly, there is one version of the sweater that I have seen that I think is beautiful. Her name is Ilana, and I know she works for Uknit, EUE.KNIT. It's somewhere on the East Coast. She did a gorgeous version, and I don't know which yarn she used, but I do know she used a fluffy yarn in addition to Spin Cycle. So check it out. I'll link it below just because I think it's really gorgeous. So I've spent a lot of time swatching for this sweater because even though I'm like, that is not me, I'm still like really drawn into the experience. So knitting in this like massive community, one pattern, in all of its diversity, and I'm really pulled into that. So I have been swatching and trying to figure out like how can I make this pattern me? And I have had very little success. This is such a downer episode, but I don't know, like, I'm just reaching out. You know, I'm not taking it too seriously. I'm not like deeply upset about any of these things. They're all learning experiences, but I do want to show them because part of me is like really disappointed, and or I just haven't found it yet. So this is the first thing I really wanted to dip into my Newtiden stash. So I made a sample using a couple of different strands of Newtiden for the main color, and then a color changing Newtiden with a mohair. And it's just kind of like, the pattern doesn't really read. It's a little too kind of mixed up. but I love the colors, and I don't know. I love the fluffiness, so I really wanted to try and make something with fluff. So I used the things that I have in my cabinet. These are all things I have. So I tried this combination of like super fluff with kind of a worsted tonal. This is way off gauge, but I thought the combination of colors was kind of nice. This is way off gauge, as is the new to Din version. Then I tried this combination, which is, oh my God, Explore Knits for the main color. Denali sock held double, plus a worsted weight yarn I had from Madeline Tosh, and another like fluffy thing, because I really was like aspiring for fluff. This also doesn't meet gauge. I like the colors, but doesn't meet gauge. So but I was excited after this one because I love the way the Explore Knits colors look together. These are like skeins I have been dying to make something out of, and I just haven't known what. Like, they're so precious. This is the yarn, Denali sock, Retiro Park. And this I bought at, where did I buy it? Oh, Flock, last fall. It's on their Denali sock base, and it is absolutely stunning. I love it. I also, if you've been here for a while, you know that I obsess about this color. This is an order that I had from years ago when I was in Portland, and I went shopping at Starlight Knitting Society, and they had this Olan wool that like I went bananas for, and I must have bought a lot because this has worked its way into a lot of different patterns. Let me see if I even have a tag. So it's Olan, I believe it's sock. Olan, I don't know if it's still producing, but I knew that they did have an advent last year. So this is called Sock Light, and the name of this scrumptious wool is Chai. And it is amazing, amazing, amazing. So I actually really liked these two together. So I thought, maybe I'll try that. So I'll show you the swatch for that. Actually, the swatch is a big swatch. So I actually cast on because I was like, well, let's just make it and see what happens. So this is it so far. It's like, well, first of all, I made a huge boo-boo. And I'm gonna fix it. Which is that I cast on with the body needles, which I'm such a dope. But anyway, I'm gonna have to fix that because the bottom, as you can see, is like kind of weird and like flary. It flares, and I know I'm not gonna like that. So I need to rip this all out, but I will say I really like this combination. I like these colors together. But honestly, I'm like, what is, it's hard because I don't think I'm really that into the pattern. Like, I might, if I choose to really make this sweater, it might be just for the camaraderie. Which is kind of weird because it will take time to make this sweater. So I guess I'm still kind of like mulling this decision over. And I'm curious if you've ever been, you know, faced with this, dilemma where, oh my God, it's so amazing. I really want to be part of it. I want to be part of this experience. I feel that way, but this pattern, this sort of quilty looking pattern, I just don't think, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't make me feel like, I love that pattern. Another idea I had was maybe there's a sweater I have wanted to make. It's the sheep camp sweater, and it's a different gauge, but I think this would be a nice combination for that sweater. Those of you that are familiar with it, it's also a gorgeous pattern, and I know I would wear that. So I'm sort of thinking about that. Anyway, but I'm just putting it on. I put it on a cord. I'm just sort of like looking at it every once in a while, kind of holding it up to myself. Yeah, I don't know. The yarn is very, very precious yarn. So it should be something completely gorgeous. Also, this combination has no fluff. And I think what I really love in terms of the versions that I've seen out there that are resonating a little bit with me, have this like soft, fluffy, kind of, you know, very soft look. So that's my dilemma. So that's kind of where my knitting is at. I am going to flock, which is really like almost a week away, and I'm attending on Saturday, which I believe is the 9th. I am not attending the rooftop party. However, I am attending during the day, and it is my intention to visit every single booth. And I also really hope to interact with you, any of you who might be in the area or who live there or who are planning to attend. I hope you'll let me know here or on Instagram. Instagram's probably even better, because then we could, like, you know, I don't know, figure out timing when you're gonna be there. If you see me, I hope you'll come up and like say hello. I'm a pretty shy person. So, you know, I won't be like with a sign up saying, come say hi. But if you say hello, I will be so thrilled. I will be so happy. This community is so meaningful to me, and I've said this multiple times, but and this is actually really the impetus for filming today, because I wasn't that excited about my knits, but I have missed everybody so much. Yeah, that was really kind of what drove me to film. Is I'm just like, oh my God, I want to connect. I want to see how everyone's doing. I would love to know what you're knitting. But I've also made some like plans for flock, and I'm really excited about those ideas that I have. So I'm going in with like 3 patterns in mind. One is a cowl and 2 are sweaters. So yeah. Anyway, none of them are new patterns. One of them is a cowl I've been wanting to knit. It's called the Geometer Cowl by Lotta Lothgren, I'm not sure. She's a wonderful designer and yarn purveyor on Instagram. Geometer cowl is a absolutely gorgeous, like Mobius, like thick, amazing cowl. There's a sweater that is actually a free pattern. I will link everything below. It's called Nordlund. It's kind of a traditional Nordic sweater, but it has like a beautiful turtleneck. And I love the way the color work isn't so much in this circular yoke, but it kind of almost starts more at the top of the shoulder and kind of runs across horizontally to the other shoulder. It's beautiful. Unbelievably, it's free. It's designed by the people at Filcolana Yarn, and I'm definitely making this sweater. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then the other third item, second sweater that I'm shopping for is the Snowy Forest by Midori Hirose. Yeah, Hirose, sorry, Midori Hirose. This is also not a new pattern, but one that I like year after year, I'm like, I want to knit it, but I just don't have the right quantity of wool. So I'm super excited to be shopping for those things. I don't know, maybe more, who knows? So yeah, anyway, I'm so happy that I found time to film, to say hello. I truly hope that you are all well and that summer has given you some rest, some refueling. I'd love, as always, to know what you're knitting. If you're gonna be a flock, please let me know. I would love to see you and say hello, so please, please say hello if you see me. Yeah. All right, I think that is my story for now. Yeah, I wish you all the best, and see you next time.